Before I elaborate on my main points, let me just say the most important thing right off the bat. No, I never have and I never will condone the act of erasing cultural representation. That is not what I do with my redesigns. Whenever I give darker skin and or black features to Asian characters, they are still Asian. Sometimes they're just also black. I do not erase, I only add on to. And the same can be said for most if not all artists who make similar redesigns. Mixed people exist, guys, come on. Let me also add that yes, I agree that blackwashing isn't a very good or accurate term, but it's what a lot of people call it, so I will be using it interchangeably with redesigning to make my points. Just know that every time I say blackwashing, it's with heavy air quotes. That all being said, hi, and welcome back to my channel, and also here's my 10 billionth apology for the audio quality, because it seems I can never win with this. I'm recording this I'm recording this at midnight, and I do not have the energy to go looking through like 50 different tutorials just to figure out how to get my mic to sound decent. So, anyways, I mentioned in my plans for 2024 video that I was thinking of making a video discussing blackwashing and Hoyoverse's colorism problem, but was super hesitant to do so since it's such a contentious topic and I take no joy in making people mad at me. But it seems I've had it too good for too long, because ever since I started posting my Genshin keychain designs here, people have once again been asking me why I blackwash Genshin characters. Some were very polite and understanding about it, which was appreciated, but others not so much. So I decided it's time to bite the bullet and make this video to briefly explain myself. And one more side note, a lot of what I'm about to say does apply generally both to other media and in real life, but I'll be talking specifically about Genshin since it's currently my main fandom and one of the places where this topic has the most relevance. Now, let's be so for real with ourselves, Genshin is a colorist game. There's no denying it, and it's insane to me that so many people try to do so. As at the time of making this video, Genshin has 79 playable characters, and you need only one hand to count how many of them have brown skin, because there's 5. And I say brown very loosely because 3 of them literally just look like ye average white person, and the main reason why they seem brown is because they're juxtaposed with characters who look like they haven't an ounce of blood in their veins half the time. I shouldn't have to tell you that that's bad. The fact that only 6% of the playable characters have a skin tone that's anything darker than eggshell white, and even then it's the lightest shade of brown possible and some of them still get whitewashed, is just unacceptable. And in classic Hoyoverse fashion, they took a shovel and started digging below rock bottom, cause fun fact, there are more brown/tan skinned characters amongst the big bad enemies than there are amongst the playable characters. One of those enemies even has locks, which is also something we are yet to see in a playable character. We don't even have a character whose hair type goes beyond straight with a few curls. And I know I speak for a lot of other black and brown players when I say that it's really disheartening to not have a single playable character who actually looks like us. Literally, Xinyan is one of my favorite characters, and I was drawn to her the moment I saw her because out of all the playable characters at the time, she looked the most like me, which isn't as much of a good thing as it sounds. Our only similarities are brown skin and dark hair. She doesn't have coily hair like me, she doesn't have darker brown skin like me, and she doesn't have a big nose or big lips like me. None of them do. Now, a lot of people love to argue against these criticisms with, well, light-skinned people of color exist too, and yes, we know that. The game is full of them. The issue isn't whether or not they exist, the issue is variety and the obvious lack thereof. There are far more skin tone options than just neon white and paperback brown, and it's extremely unfair how every time we criticize this lack of variety, we get met with backlash and flimsy excuses. For example, how people told us to just wait for Sumeru if we wanted more representation, only for the Sumeru in question to only have 3 quote-unquote brown characters out of its current 13. Or how people claimed it makes sense for other regions to not have black characters because they're based on Germany, China, etc. Even though 1, black and mixed people can exist literally anywhere, and 2, characters don't have to be black to have darker skin. Not everyone in Europe/Asia is pale. And how people told us to just play other games if this upsets us so much, even though we shouldn't have to play other games to get proper representation. This should be the bare minimum. Hoyoverse does such a good job at cultural diversity and representation most of the time. So it really shouldn't be this hard for them to put that same effort into racial and skin tone diversity. And if they won't do it, then I will. That's why I redesigned these characters, to give this game a touch of diversity that I and many other players have been craving for a long time. And it's now that I'd like to reiterate my point from the start of the video, that I don't erase pre-existing representation, nor do I condone the act of doing so. I'm only adding to what's already there, and that's the main reason why blackwashing isn't the same as whitewashing. When you whitewash a character of color, you take away representation from people who already don't get enough of it. But these redesigns that I and many similar artists do only ensures that more underrepresented people get the rep they deserve. I will also add though, that the whole not erasing pre-existing rep thing is way more important in regards to the Asian and African characters in the game. This may make me sound like a hypocrite, but white people already get more favoritism and representation than every minority group combined, and whitewashing is a much bigger, more incessant problem than blackwashing has ever been, so I really couldn't care less about quote-unquote erasing white people's rep. Anyways, I hope this video answered y'all's questions. As for the keychains that are being drawn in the background, these are designs that I plan to sell on my online shop sometime soon. So if you like them and want to support me financially, then keep an eye out for when I announce the shop's debut. Thank you so much for your time and hopefully your understanding, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care!